And I wonder whether DeepSeek has kind of changed. I mean, it feels like it's upended the race this week. How does it change, how we view it?
People have asked me if I would update the book. It came out about, I filed it about less than a year ago. The first time I've said yes is this week, because DeepSeek is such a fundamental change to the economics of what's going on. Now, there are still a whole bunch of unanswered questions, but 100%, the fact that they were able to train an AI model for a fraction of the cost of what OpenAI and Google and Anthropic and all the other big AI players are spending really shows that you don't necessarily need a lot of money to build AI. Until now, companies like OpenAI, that's been their moat. That's been how they differentiated from others. The fact, as you mentioned, they could raise all that money, and no one else can do that. Now, actually, you don't need to raise that amount of money to build AI.
So, I mean, the question is, and there's a lot of investigations on whether, for example, they used some of the Nvidia chips through Singapore. There's also questions whether they, frankly, ripped off some of the OpenAI. Does this stuff even matter? Because once you've proven that you can do it on the cheap, then it changes everything anyway.
Yes, I suppose it does. But those unanswered questions are important as well for policymakers, because there's been this real question of, well, maybe the U.S. shouldn't have had export controls on Nvidia chips, because then China and DeepSeek, for example, and other companies wouldn't have been forced to think out of the box and innovate with low-quality chips. But if you follow that same logic, then the U.S. should have limits on GPU sales to American companies, because that would force them to innovate. So it doesn't really, that doesn't necessarily make sense. And at the same time, as you've just mentioned, Bloomberg reporting has shown that it's possible that DeepSeek got around the export controls by just buying chips from third parties in Singapore. So I think that raises a lot of questions about whether any of those kinds of sanctions even work in the first place. Also, this question of, we saw earlier in the week, Nvidia's stock price fell by something like market valuation by almost $600 million, $600 billion, sorry, an incredible crash for Nvidia. But there's also now people are saying, well, actually, if this spurs more competition among smaller businesses to build AI because it's cheaper, that means they'll buy more GPUs from Nvidia. That's actually good for Nvidia.
So, Parmy, I mean, one question, if they did get their hands on, and there were reports about the number, if they did get their hands on Nvidia chips, does it change the underlying business model that they offered? I mean, I suppose it does. It depends how many extra they were able to get. From what we've seen in reporting, something like 50,000 is the number that's going around. They did it for $6 million, which is very little when you consider something like someone like OpenAI will spend $100 million, say, to train. On the other hand, one thing they haven't figured out is inference. So training is very cheap, but actually using the AI model still requires a lot of GPU chips and is still very expensive. So that's another reason that Nvidia is still needed in all of this. So does it democratize? And I've heard, an economist was in earlier saying, look, if this is cheaper and we can all use it, then it will almost democratize AI. It'll be more of a force for good on the cheaper side because so many more people use it. There's still, I guess, safety and security, national security concerns.
Yes, absolutely. But I agree with that. I agree with that first part about democratizing. And it's so funny because tech companies in Silicon Valley use that word all the time, that we're democratizing the use of technology. I'm pretty sure OpenAI has used that term, but they don't actually reveal the details about how they built their models. No information on the training data, despite the name OpenAI. DeepSeek is way more open than OpenAI because they've put their blueprints on the internet, and now Meta's engineers, OpenAI's engineers are all scrambling to try and replicate what they did. It's possible in the next few months we'll see more efficient models coming from American companies now.
Parmy, and I know I need to thank you. We did a podcast together. It was really enjoyable for 30 minutes trying to understand where this ends up. I mean, was this almost like a foreign policy from China? We don't know if the Chinese government played into it, but I feel like the timing is quite perfect for the Chinese.
It really was to have come right after this announcement of the Stargate project, that how much money is just going to be spent on infrastructure projects for AI, earnings announcements this week in which companies have to talk about their CapEx spending on AI. It's a very awkward timing for American companies and for the American government. I don't know if that was planned, but it certainly is awkward timing.
I mean, how can the U.S. respond? So again, we've heard OpenAI. They're like, investigating. They're raising $40 billion. Does this just equalize? I mean, does this just blow the U.S. out of the water in terms of a race, or can they come back from this stronger?
Oh, I don't think it blows anyone out of the water necessarily. It's absolutely created panic. But the best thing that American companies can do is compete, right. And that's what's so great about this moment, in spite of how frightening it might be for a lot of shareholders and businesses. Now, for example, tech companies in the U.S. have been so focused on making the biggest model. There's this kind of ego-driven race to get the biggest cluster of GPUs, for example, and not enough on helping businesses find ways to make AI useful for them and design good products. That's actually been quite neglected over the last year, but that's a way that American companies can absolutely differentiate from these Chinese alternatives, for example. So hopefully this will be a wake-up call in terms of not focusing so much on who's got the biggest model, but actually helping and building good products for businesses.
Parmy, is this limited to large language models, or could it actually change the scope of research and everything else we know AI will be used for?
I think for now it is limited to large language models, but also image generation. DeepSeek has come out with an image and I think image analysis and image generation model. So for now it's AI, generative AI, but who knows where that could also spread to.